Hey guys, welcome to Denny's. Today I am going to go over some settings that will drastically improve any like stuttering. If you have any problems with stuttering, I will solve those, or at least attempt to. It solved it for me. We're going to go over some of the most important settings as far as what can improve your frame rate, and then we are going to go over some additional settings like gameplay settings, basically anything to do with settings. So yeah, if this helped you at all, just remember to give it a like, subscribe if you are interested in some more long form content as far as the first Descendant, anything to do with looter shooters, etc., ARPGs. Been playing this game a lot, so yeah, I'm going to get right into it without wasting any more time. So first off, for the graphics, so I'm going to talk about stuttering first. So the biggest thing you can do, this is if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you can actually use the additional options, use NVIDIA, and use quality on the DLSS. You can go for ultra performance; it'll give you a couple more frames, but honestly, it's so blurry that I don't recommend it. But if you're okay with like that weird AI blur, then go for that, and it'll give you some more frames. But this jumped me at least like 15 to 20 frames without having it on. You can see I'm at 10. Well, I was about 102, 101. If I turn this off, I go down to 87, 84. So that's proof right there. Turn it on, I'm at quality, I jump up. Some people don't like it. Some people can notice the way it looks. I think it's fine. VSync I have off. I don't really like VSync. It's never going to go to my monitor's thing anyway. I have a 165 hertz monitor. Low latency I have on because it boosts the response time of everything. Obviously I have an OLED monitor, so I'm not too worried about response time, but it just feels like the game's a little bit naturally like input lag, I guess. So this is makes it a little bit more responsive. I have that on. I don't think that affects anything to do with your frames. It's just like a preference. Okay, so these are the most important settings as far as increasing your frame rate. So first off, I want to say make sure you pick whatever your PC is good for. Like for instance, I've got a 4080. I'm going to run it at ultra. I'm going to try to, and then I'm going to kind of nitpick the settings that give me the most frames. So if you've got like a 4070 or a 4060 or an older card, I would definitely recommend going with medium for the graphic settings. And then go down here and there's two settings you want to look for. There's shadows and there's object. There's not a lot of detail on object. Doesn't say what it does. I can't really tell you what it does. All I know is these two settings, shadows naturally and object, are going to increase your frame rate the most. So I'm at 100 frames per second right now. Let's say I'm going to toss these both to ultra, and then we're going to see what I go down to. I'm down to 80, around 84. So that's about another 15 frames. I'm at 85. Now if I go object to medium and then shadows to medium, I gain another 15 frames. So that's 30 frames that I gain just from settings in here. And again, I could easily go down to medium, and then I could throw shadows at low and object at low, and I would be up 20 more FPS. That's 50 frames. We're talking almost 50, 60 frames you can gain by going here. Now that's if you're okay with the game not looking amazing. I still think it looks great. Honestly, I might even stick with this, but this is more for educational purposes. You can see though, it's like everything looks good. I'm running it smooth 120, and that's 50 frames we gain just from those two settings. Now I do want to talk about if you don't have an NVIDIA card. If you have an AMD card, you can use the FSR. It's still pretty good in my opinion. Actually, you can even use this if you have an AMD or NVIDIA card. The FSR that AMD has is pretty much identical to NVIDIA, so keep that in mind. I would do quality on the AMD as well. And then as far as anything else like Intel, Intel kind of sucks. I mean, Intel's great, the processor, but there's not really, like, this doesn't really do as much. As you can see, it brings it up close, but it doesn't look as, like, I don't know. It looks, it's very small differences, but there's little things you can nitpick, like the edges and stuff like that, blurriness. But pick your poison as far as NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel. Epic Games is trash, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Oh no, it's actually pretty good. So all these are actually pretty good choice as far as frames if you're not too worried about the look of it. You can tell the blurriness kind of went away on that. But anyway, I like NVIDIA's because it looks right and there's a lot more options. And you have the NVIDIA Reflex low latency option as well. That's key. So that's the graphics. I want to go into the gameplay real quick. So I didn't really change much here. All I changed was this show skill damage details. That shows you what your skill is doing. You really don't need this on. I just like seeing the extra bit of I guess eye flavor outside of just the number. It kind of makes it, I don't know, it's different. So that's the main reason I did. I did show the status effect on for a while, but honestly, it's not the best in my opinion. Sprint control always on toggle, aim control hold. That's natural. That's what it comes with. I do like this grappling hook. I think the red one's kind of hard to see sometimes. It's like hidden by certain stuff. So this gives you a bigger one, and it's not too like obtrusive. You can kind of see. It looks like just a part of your crosshair, and it tells you where you're gonna go. So that's the gameplay. Audio, it's totally up to you guys. That's not really anything that we need to look at there. For this is actually kind of important. So if you have an HDR monitor, I definitely recommend turning on HDR. Obviously, if you're like super competitive and sometimes you can't see things as good, then turn it off. But honestly, it looks really good in this game. So I have it on. I've left everything at 5 here. The biggest thing here is going to be field of view. You can change this all the way down to 60, which, I mean, look at that. That's trash, Jesus. And then all the way up to 120. I had mine at like 110. I don't like it to be too far away, but I like it to be a decent amount away. So field of view is located in display. Sharpness. This is a huge effect. So if we go 0 sharpness, you can kind of see the game world basically just like blurry at the edges. Your character's not too like formed. Like, I don't know what else to say. If you up the sharpness, you can up it like a ton. You can go to 10. You can see the edges of everything. It's a little bit too much in my opinion, but I have it at 3, and honestly I think 3 is a happy medium. It looks really good. It makes it so you're actually outlined. You can see certain things. This actually improved the visibility for me on a lot of things like munition boxes and the ECV and the resource boxes and basically anything to do with visibility. In my opinion, I think sharpness is really important. And then the keyboard and mouse. So I left this mainly blank. What I do want to change is probably the select weapon. I'm probably going to do scroll wheel up for that and then scroll wheel down for 2. And then I was thinking about using the abilities here instead of like C and V, for example. Those are kind of weird. But we'll do some playing around with that. Obviously, it's completely up to you what you want to do there. But nonetheless, those are the options for the gameplay loop and the graphics as far as getting the best settings. Other than that, guys, that's going to be the video for today. If you stayed this long, I appreciate it. That's pretty cool. It's not very common. So seriously appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and enjoy the first Descendant as much as I am. And yeah, goodbye.